moving on. So let's go over it point by point. As I said, focusing on getting your tech stack right, right? We, the majority of publishers who moved on to QuintType over the last, say, 4 or 5 years, most of them have seen their traffic surge primarily on account of better tech. What we've been seeing is a lot of publishers grappling with technology in the past. They've been working with legacy systems. They've been working with certain plugins that just crash their system or don't scale at all. So these are the issues that most of the publishers face. And on the right, I've just shown you a simplistic diagram, an architecture diagram of what your entire digital publishing platform could be. This is more or less a modular structure. I'm not going to get into the details. But the idea is that you should be able to scale each layer independently. You should be able to scale your database layer independently, your services layer independently, your API layer independently, your front-end servers independently, and finally, deliver all of your content through the CDN. This is extremely important because you're close to your audience and you can start delivering content with a much lower latency. What we've seen most of our publishers as a pattern, and this is something that we've seen over the years, is that a lot of publishers don't really pay attention to the kind of errors they get on their existing systems. The 400 and 500 errors. It could be web pages, it could be assets, and maybe a JavaScript file that's not loading. Any of those that continuously start throwing errors, and these affect your search result ranking. These affect your page speed scores as well. Right, so something to definitely take a very keen look at is what kind of errors are you getting? Are you able to handle surges in traffic, something like an election result, something like, let's say, a terrorist attack or something like that, which is unpredictable and you get a surge in traffic. So what happens then? Are your servers able to handle that kind of traffic? If not, if you're getting 500 errors quite often, then that's something that Google will derank your site on. So these are things that you should be looking at on terms of technology. Caching aggressively, news media has the benefit of write once and read a million times. So you should be able to cache your stories as aggressively as possible and deliver your content extremely fast to most of your audience. And keep a very keen eye on your API response times. These are, in our view, these are our learnings as well. Something that we've seen with our publishers is as the API response time starts increasing, that starts reducing your page speed on the front end as well. And certain things you need to, you won't know what's running. So let's say a background job runs on a Sunday night, right? Or a migration or an ETL script runs on a Sunday night on your database. Those start reducing your API response times. Those start locking the lower part of your tech stack, and that starts increasing your API response times, which becomes a problem for most publishers. So keep a very keen eye on it. We track our API response times extremely closely, and even a fluctuation by 2 or 3%, we get to know. We start realizing that something's wrong with our APIs, and we need to make sure that it's back on track. So these are main things around the tech stack. As long as you can get your tech stack right, I think if you have good content and a great tech stack, you're probably about 80-90% out there already in getting on the right track to get your to growing your traffic. The remaining around SEO, optimization, all of that will come through. But these are probably, content is king, and tech will be the catalyst in increasing your traffic. That's the way we see it.